Welcome to the Engineering Podcast, a podcast from the engineers at Rocket.Chat. We will be discussing new implementations, problems faced, what's coming, and everything else related to our daily work, always with a technical perspective to keep you up to date. Welcome all. I'm Rodrigo Nascimento, your host as always. And I have with me today our backend leader and co-founder, Diego Sampaio, our apps engine leader, Douglas Gilbert, our cloud leader, Aaron Nago, our front-end engineer, Tasso Vangelis today, our mobile leader, Diego Mello, and our Omnichannel product manager, Renato Becker. So let's get started. We had 3 releases on this past week. Diego can go deep on that, but were the 3.12, the final release of 3.12. We talked about that on the past episodes. We are working on the feature freeze, and the 3.11.2 and 3.10.6 as patch releases with security fixes for those two, and of course those security fixes are in 3.12 as well. So yeah, as always, starting with the Diego from the backend. Please, can you go with the news and those two? Anything else from those 2 releases?
Yeah, hi everyone. As you said, Rodrigo, the work we have been done last week was mainly to get the final release out. So 3.12 is finally out. We had a little delay. It was supposed to be cut last Saturday, but it ended up being cut only on Sunday. So yeah, but it's out. Along with it, there's 2 security fixes. You guys can check the security notes on our documentation page. There's a link for that on the release notes, so you guys can follow there. Nothing special to share this week. We expect to start working on 3.13 this week still. A few. I don't. Well, I will spoil that we are expecting. Well, we'll at least start working on the Teams feature for this release. Let's see if we can make it to land on this release still. That's it.
Cool. One interesting subject, I guess, is you were talking before start recording about the patch releases and how we are doing that. Maybe can you explain how is the process today? So, and what are the problems we are facing and we faced on this release?
Oh yeah. So for the security fixes, we have an additional repository where we can work and test the security fixes before before making them public. So that's an important measure we have taken for the past 3 releases, I think. So now we work on this security fork, on this private fork, and when we decided to cut the release, then we copy that changes over the community repository, and then those changes are public. We are still trying to figure out the best way to automate that. We have some issues when we have to automate things on the private repo, because like GitHub doesn't like to provide us free credit on a private repo, even though we are open source, but they do only on the public repo. So we will need to figure out a way to have a proper CI/CD running on that private repo. So we still have like those things to define or actually to improve on that process. But I think that's already like better as we have a proper way to work on those security fixes.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we were prior to this, we were doing those security fixes on the public repository, and the white hackers, people were sending us the reports. They were complaining when we started creating the pull requests and showing to the community this. Even when you try to hide it as much as possible, we were able to figure out through the commits that were security fixes, and we didn't release the release itself, right? So people could not update, but hackers could figure out the issue already because we had the code open. It was the reason we are moving to a private repo, working on the security, all the security fixes we want to release, and then after have all them, we do this single merge back to the public repository and make all the releases at once. So we allow people to have the option to upgrade as soon as possible, so the hackers will not figure out the issues before the fix is available.
Yeah.
And as Jago mentioned, like it's our first time running the CI on a private fork of Rocket.Chat, and we faced some limits, but still improving those things.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you, Jago. The next one is the apps engine, Douglas Kubert. What's going on there?
Hey, yo, folks. So, yeah, we don't have anything special to share as well. We've been working on the last release, 3.12, and we have, yeah, not sure what else I can talk about, honestly. Only like we've been progressing on some of our like other projects. So that's it for this week.
Any spoiler of things coming?
We might have something to do with the Teams feature as well on some of the aspects of it. But yeah, some of the other things are kind of like very cloudy at this point. We are gathering some of the requirements. We are working on a lot of the tooling. So the CLI and the compiler, we have been like polishing a lot of the stuff over there. But that's it.
Okay, thank you. Aaron from the cloud team, do you have any news?
Hey, everybody. Yeah, so I think I don't have a lot either, but I'll try to speak more so we don't make this a too short of a podcast. So we're actually working on a lot of the things that I think we talked about last week, how we're speccing out a couple services. We're actually in the development phase of those now, starting this week. So, I think maybe future podcast will have something to actually share about that. But for now, we're head down, trying to knock it out. One thing I did want to mention is I can't remember if I have mentioned this before or not, but we have a metrics repo. It's Rocket.Chat / Rocket.Chat.metrics. And basically it has dashboards. Prometheus, like a Docker Compose, has Prometheus, Grafana, and Rocket.Chat dashboards. And so we're actually putting some more effort into trying to increase the documentation around this to make it easier for people to kind of understand how it fits, how to actually use it. But this is a really important tool, I think, for support, for kind of understanding what's happening inside of the Rocket.Chat instances you're running. So yeah, we're trying to increase or decrease, shall I say, the burden or the effort required to get it running. So yeah, just want to call that out. And if you haven't seen it before, I would check it out. It's pretty cool actually to see, what's happening under the hood to those metrics. So that's it for us.
Pretty cool, thank you. And the next one is the front-end team. We have a special guest today, Tasso Evangelist, representing the team, to talk about the news there. So, and welcome, Tasso. I guess you're muted.
So, guys, from front.
It's freezing. Can you hear us, Tasso? You're right. So let's move to the next one. While Tasso is having some connectivity issues, moving on to mobile. Diego Melo, what's going on there?
Is Tasso back or maybe not? Anyway, I was hoping for this. Anyway, let me talk about mobile. Tasso, you go next. Hey guys, not many highlights this week. We merged a lot of bug fixes, and we released last Friday an initial version of the experimental, so the 4.15.0. There are no major highlights on this release because it was focused most on bug fixes only. And this week we'll be working on QA in this 4.15 and increasing end-to-end task coverage. And that's it. Thank you.
Cool. It was fast. Thank you. Let's try Tasso again. Tasso, how is that now?
Okay, let's try again. Okay, so there is not so much news from front end this week. Basically, we have worked in these last releases, and I think the only ongoing effort that we are carrying is trying to unify the code base for UIKit, the development library to enable app developers and even internal apps to handle UI elements. So basically, we have code shared for UIKit in, I think, 5 repos, and we are trying to assemble all this code into a single library, and that's the major goal. I think we are going to start to define how interactions between the server and stuff like that, mostly internal stuff. As we are going to do in the next weeks, we have been working and together with the design team into the new teams feature. We have analyzed it and seen that user experience to the design guys to see what we can do to make the
I think the connection is gone now.
Rocket.
Yeah, we lost connection. So I guess we understood the working on the team's feature with the design team to finish this specs. And yeah, now we just lost him. Okay, and the next one, the last one is the Omnichannel. Renato, can you tell us what's going on there?
Yeah, sure. Hi, folks. So, guys, after 1 week in release candidate mode, fortunately, we did not face any issue with the new improvements, enhancements, and also the new live chat version that is coming out with the release 3.12. So now we are ready to move on and work on new stuff. So during the current development cycle, we will focus on core features. One of them is the on hold feature, something that I have already mentioned previously. When it comes to efficiency and productivity, we're talking about very valuable features. So that's the reason we are focused on this feature during this development cycle. And the same happens with the contact center. We are going to work on the contact center feature. It's the phase 2 actually, and we have plans to improve it even more, add more and more UI and UX elements, improve the transition between UI elements, and also add new components that will empower omnichannel agents even more. So that's the reason we are focused on this sort of feature this development cycle. Apart from that, I've been working with our design team on enhancements in another existing feature. I'm talking about canned responses feature. The idea is to help managers to manage canned responses, add new improvements such as support placeholders, markdowns, and so on. So that's probably what some improvements that are coming out very soon. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Cool, thanks. From my side, I have 2 items to talk about. Again, I guess we talked on the past episode about the Google Summer of Code, just to reinforce so people and students that want to contribute to open source projects and can be candidates for be paid by Google to work for the project for some months, I guess 3 months, as kind of internship working for a specific project. You can apply and start working with us from now. We are not the application is not still open. We still don't know if you're going to participate or not, but we are confident that we are going to be. So if you want to start interacting with us, go to docs.rocket.chat, and you find there the Google Summer of Code 2021 link, and there you see more information on how to interact with us, channel on our open.rocket.chat, and other things, and a list of projects that we are proposing as well. So yes, join us on this. And another thing, the second one, is the open positions. We have some open positions on jobs.rocket.chat, some for the engineering, some for the infrastructure, some for sales, and others. We're going to open more. We have, tens of positions to open during the next months. So front-end, back-end, architect, other positions will be there soon. So keep checking that page or our LinkedIn page as well. We have the positions there. So I think that's all. And thank you all that have participated in this episode. And see you on the next one. Bye-bye. You have listened to Engineering Podcast, This episode is available as video on YouTube and audio on your favorite podcast application. For more information, contact community at Rocket.Chat and give us your feedback.